Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Dave Neal here, stand-up comic host of Bachelor Nation News, and we have a Bachelor in Paradise recap for you guys. That's right, your boy is here in Kentucky, hanging out at the in-laws' house, so we got to keep our quiet voices tonight. I'm up in the guest room here. What did you guys think? We're going to jump right into it. I know we have a ton of voicemails, so we're going to get right to it. Hot bananas. Hot bananas. We've got people throwing out the gaslighting term. We got so many things to talk about. I tell you what, let's switch over here. Let's go right here to the nice little after show logo there, and we're going to get into it. Wow is all I can say about it. I've got the voicemail line open. You know what I'm going to do from this angle is, let me just type in the voicemail line so you guys have it right here. Hold on one second. Voicemail line is open. 401-213-9828. Hold on. 1213-9828. 401-213-9828. Let's add it right there. We got the mobile setup here, so things are a little different here. Put it right down there, and the voicemail line is wide open. Let's hear your calls, your thoughts, and what you think went down on tonight's episode of Bachelor in Paradise.
Hello, Sabine from Canada. Anyone else feel like this finale was extremely rushed? We didn't get the time to really dig into all of the drama. There was so much drama this season. I really missed when cast members could yell at whoever's on the hot seat. That didn't seem to happen. Anyways, those were my thoughts. Bye.
Thank you so much, Sabine in Canada. Appreciate you. Now, we're going to have a lot to get into based on what was said by people that were in the audience versus what they showed. They didn't show the part where Victoria was accused of throwing a wine glass at Johnny. They didn't share that. They didn't share the part where Tyler yelled out that Victoria was a cheater. There's a lot they didn't get into. We'll have to hear what you guys think was missed, but for sure, rushed. I mean, this was a 12-hour shoot day, boiled down to, 40 minutes?
Bruce from Oregon. Dave, I've got 5 points to make. Number one, Logan all dressed up looks like a college professor who's going to give me a B- on a solid A paper. But he held his own, #Team Logan. Point number two, I've lost all trust in Aaron. We need a new union leader. I'm nominating Meatball for this very important job. Point three, going back to the itching versus pain thing. The true pain here is seeing so many guys without socks. Guys, get some socks. Point four, now I think Greg Grippo was hiding out in Italy, posting clues to his whereabouts, and all these ladies just dumped all their boyfriends and went over there to find him like Carmen Sandiego. And of course, Victoria won. And finally, point five, did you see that horror film trailer with the creepy doll running on all fours through the forest? Here's what I say, creepy doll for next Bachelorette. Let's go. All right, let's get into it. Bye.
Bruce in Oregon, ladies and gentlemen, that is how you leave a voicemail. 5 points in 63 seconds. That is about 10 seconds per point, and then change. Thank you so much, Bruce. Yeah, look, I was shocked to see Greg have the effort energy that he had. Greg was like, all right, I guess we're going to do it. I guess we're going there with regards to Victoria mentioning they got tattoos. That was not in the script. Now, as far as I know from the people I've talked to that were kind of in the wherewithal, they said that Greg was supposed to just be in the audience, but Victoria was able to convince him to show up. You know, the producers weren't going to be able to convince him to take the stage, but he's like, hey, Victoria's his gal. Will the relationship be able to sustain itself? Maybe, but, maybe not. We'll have to see. I wish him the best.
Hi, this is Pat from Chicago about Victoria. I didn't know anything about Greg Grippo before the finale, but watching the proposal, she just seemed fake to me. Like everything she said was, she's just playing a game. She just wanted to win at the game. I didn't believe her then, and I don't believe her now. That's all. Bye.
Didn't believe her then, don't believe her now. I mean, it's hard to, in one instance. By the way, how interesting was it the way that they went about Tyler consoling Johnny? Now, I just DM'd Tyler. I've never DM'd Tyler before, but I just messaged him and I just said, look, man, that friendship that you have there is a bond you'll probably never break. Because the fact that Johnny's got someone like Tyler who went out to the lot with them. If you don't know, you probably can understand what you're looking at right there. The photo that Logan has, it's a soundstage. So you can see the ceiling. They're huge. They're like giant warehouses almost, where they shoot everything. So once you walk out of there, you're just right in the studio lot. You're right, not in traffic. You're still like in a private area, but he's outside. It's Los Angeles. They're shooting it, during the, daytime or whatever. And they still have their mics on. Now, whether or not they knew the cameras were going to follow them, I'm not sure. But smart that they did. You really got to see Tyler stick up for his guy. And you know what Tyler said about Johnny? Tyler said, you could have said so many worse things to her, but you didn't. You didn't. And that shows a lot about Johnny's character. And as far as we know, we have nothing to work with that would assume Johnny would stoop to her level. Versus Victoria's got like a laundry list sheet of sort of behavior where she's been caught lying through her teeth. So as Tyler said, he said, look, she's going to say what she needs to say to win, because it's all game to her. All right, let's go to Stu, one of our good friends in Pennsylvania.
Hey, everybody, it's Stu from Southeast Pennsylvania. I'm going to fire off my couple thoughts from tonight. The Victoria thing, super fucking cringe. Sorry, excuse my French. The Greg thing, Greg was just very cringe. The whole thing, very cringe. Brendan and Serene, I knew that they weren't going to get married. They would have showed us that if that was going to happen. Also, was that Victoria Fuller in the Bachelor preview at the end?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I saw Victoria Fuller in the Bachelor preview at the end. Okay. All right. Have a good night. Bye.
Yeah, bye. Why was Victoria Fuller in the Bachelor preview? Can anyone answer that question? By the way, the caller that we just had was our good friend who I like to refer to her by the term Stutz. Elizabeth, I like to call her Stutzel. And Elizabeth lives in, Southeast Pennsylvania. And I wanted to share, just because she's a good friend of the program, Miss Liz is a dog walker, and she actually hosts dogs. So a dog, border? Is that you would call it border? So I don't know if anyone lives in the South Coatesville, Pennsylvania area. This isn't an advertisement, just a friendly shout out. You can screen grab her email right there. Give your doggo a stress-free holiday this week. I got to tell you, if I lived near Pennsylvania, I would love to have Liz watching our dog Boone. So anyway, she's a valuable member of the Patreon community. So give a quick shout out here to Liz. Screen grab this, pause it, do what you have to do. I mean, look, first of all, Liz, $30 a night, you're undervaluing yourself. You need to charge a lot more than that. So if anyone books through Liz, make sure you pay her at least $40 to $50 a night. Come on. All right, so let's keep this party going here. I've got a ton of your voicemails. You can call in 401-213-9828. Feel free to call the voicemail line. Try to keep it under a minute because we have a lot to get to. But it's going to be a jam-packed show tonight. Get to your voicemails right now. Oh, it's our good friend Celeste calling in. Hold on one second. I'm operating on a shoestring studio here in the mobile setup, so it's a little bit harder to get around. My producer quit. I don't have a producer.
Hey, Dave. It's me, Celeste. I'm calling from Beeville, Texas. And tonight's finale was definitely telling, but also really moving. I really enjoyed it. I was so happy about Brandon and Serene, their proposal. I mean, it was so pure and heartwarming. And I really loved how Johnny really stood his ground. I mean, he's a man's man. And the moment between Aaron and Genevieve was really nice. But I'm surprised they didn't mention about his so-called women back home. I don't know what's true and what's not. But, anyway, I'm still a huge fan of Aaron, and I think he's great. Anyway, thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Celeste calling from Beeville, Texas. Yeah, the accusations, which have been proven through, open point blank screen grabs, is that Aaron had two different women before he was going on. Genevieve didn't know about this when the taping occurred, so we don't have that information. Anyway, let's get into our next voicemail.
Hey, Dave, it's Dave in New York. Yeah, I feel bad for Johnny. I will say that when I saw the two of them together, they never seemed to be like a natural fit. It always seemed a little awkward. But I think he was trying. Speaking of awkward, I think the two of them, Victoria and Greg on the after show, boy, a couple of checker cats with no empathy, and hopefully they'll go into social media oblivion. That's my take. Bye for now.
Thank you so much, Dave in New York, calling, and appreciate you, Dave. Hey, I'll be in New York December 1st and 2nd for some stand-up comedy shows. Tomorrow night in Cincinnati, and Saturday, Newport, Rhode Island. I'll be performing on a fun show at Rejects Brewery, Newport, Rhode Island. So let's, look, we've got Kate Gallivan here issuing an apology tonight. I was actually surprised that we got an apology from Kate. She was coming off very holier than thou. And I'm not one to demand apologies, but I just was, calling out her classism as she was like, oh, he's not good enough for me type of behavior. She said, in light of their reunion tonight, I want to speak directly to you all. I deeply apologize for the classist things that I said on Bachelor in Paradise this season. I was shocked when I saw the show myself, and I cringed just as much as you guys did watching it. If I could take it back, I would. I've apologized to Logan, but want to extend that apology to anyone who may have been offended by those comments. I have nothing but respect for Logan and the rest of the cast, and I'm still so grateful to have gone on this adventure with them. Look, I'm not offended by what she says. It's just like, it is what it is, call it out, when you see something like that. All right. So anyway, we'll probably have a full 30-minute long video about that one tomorrow. Let's keep this party going. Lots of voicemails to get through. Let's go to Emily in Virginia. You're up.
Hi, my name is Emily, and I'm calling from McLean, Virginia. I have a couple of thoughts about the Victoria F. and Johnny little love triangle thing.
Please.
I just think it's really important to think about, the timing of all of this and, how close Rome was to the actual airing of the show, because I don't really think that is... I don't know what I'm saying. I don't really think that they overlap. Or if they did overlap, it would be, really close. So, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts.
Yeah, look, it's one of those things. We could talk all day about the timeline when it came to Rome. Let's go to Greg's page, I'm sure, or let's go to Victoria's and see what she's posted. I doubt she's posted anything. But look, they sort of said, and again, this is for you guys to decide to believe if you want, but they came into this with a strategy. Whether it's true or not is up to us all to figure out or to believe. We'll never know. But they said they essentially said their first date was in Rome, and it's like, all right, don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. Do you really believe their first date was in Rome? Do you really believe they weren't hooking up for weeks or months? Theoretically, I guess. But do we not see when Johnny goes, you're making videos with him right in my face. And she goes, what are you talking about? And she goes, what are you talking about? And he goes, were you not in the honeymoon suite in Nashville with Greg Grippo? And she goes, what does that have to do with anything? Whoa. When you say, what does that have to do with anything? That's probably enough to get you through a fight with somebody in person. But when you're fighting, on TV, you've got a whole audience of 1 million or so people that are going to be cross-examining everything you say. You know what I mean? All right, let's go to our next voicemail.
Hi, Dave. This is Mimi from Pittsburgh. I just watched your vlog with the dog taking your wedding pictures. It was so cute. So just want to let you know I watched it, and let me know, did your Christmas ornament come in one piece? Let me know. This phone call's just for you. Bye.
Thank you, Mimi in Pittsburgh. So, Mimi, we made a vlog opening your present. Mimi sent us a present. Have a quick watch. This is the end of my vlog, which we made this week, called Bachelor in Paradise Recap Behind the Scenes. Not broken. Ooh, okay. These are my favorite types of gifts when it's like a bunch of different things. This is what Mimi sent us. Let's see what is going on in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Oh, to add to your jar of rice.
Ah!
That's great. Oh, this is so nice. This is so great.
When you can't decide if you want coffee or something stronger.
And there's a little flask there.
So cute and tiny.
Oh. Our first Christmas.
I love it.
How kind is that?
Our first Christmas as Mr. and Miss.
Oh, Mimi.
Dave and Tasha.
This is very special. We love these personalized
Cover your face so everyone can see.
So thank you so much, Mimi. This is from Mimi here. Our first Christmas as Mr. and Mrs. Dave and Tasha 2022. Mimi, thank you so much. You really made our day. She sent us all these nice gifts. We really appreciate it. I included it in the latest vlog. I wanted to make sure you know that we gave you that we really appreciated it. If you haven't checked out that vlog, just search Dave Neal Vlogs. You can see my full behind You can see my full behind the scenes, how everything goes down when I make content. It's all in there. Everything that we do. Where's the moment here? Did I include it when I did the four person shot? That doesn't really matter. Anyway, I'll have more behind the scenes. I might be doing a behind the scenes from tomorrow. Tomorrow I've got a stand-up show in Cincinnati, and it'll be a lot of content we make over here. So you'll have to check that out. All right, I think we got 4 or 5 more voicemails. If anyone wants to leave a voicemail, now is your chance. 401-213-9828. 401-213-9828. Feel free to call in. Let us know your thoughts. We're at 600 people in the chat. Hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. We have a subscriber live button right here. 61,314. Let's try to get that up to 61,400. Let's get to 76 new subscribers, and we'll keep this live stream going. So we appreciate all those that are tuning in. I'll leave that ticker up for a second while we play a couple more voicemails. Let's go to Colleen in Chicago.
Hi, Dave. This is Colleen from Chicago. Just calling with my thoughts. I just watched the finale, and I have lots of thoughts on all these different relationships and things, but basically my main thought on the whole last 2 episodes this week is that the girls just seem to kind of like piss all over the guys this season. It just seemed like all the guys, like Logan, Johnny, Rodney, Tyler, they were all like present and wanting to work on things and wanting to get through things. Even Aaron kind of wanted to work on things, and they showed a lot of maturity, I thought. Emotional maturity, whatever. Anyway, so that was just kind of surprising. It seemed like very one-sided, like in that way. I will give props to Logan, though. I thought he definitely held his own tonight and put Kate in her place and kind of exposed her, really. And then finally, props to Genevieve. I think I did not expect her to kind of take ownership for her part and everything, and I think she showed a lot of growth tonight. Anyway, thanks, Dave. Okay, bye.
Thank you so much for calling in. Oh, look at that, 321. So many new people just subscribed. Yeah, no, I completely agree. Genevieve seems like a pretty cool person. I think Genevieve could benefit from having somebody in like a relationship with a guy that lets her be the sort of chaotic one. I think in her case with Aaron, he was also chaotic. And like they said, if you can't make it work on a beach, you're not going to make it work in real life. Oh, let's stay in Chicago. From Colleen to Denise.
Hey, Dave. It's Denise from Chicago. I just wanted to say I absolutely love Michael and Danielle. I'm so glad that they're having a go. And I think it's great that she's moving to Ohio and that they're not living together, but they're just having a legit relationship right now. She seems so completely real and shocked that he said, "I love you" to her. And I just love that. I love their love. I think it's beautiful. That's all. Bye.
Thank you so much. Hey, Denise and Colleen, stepping it and repping it from Chicago. How about New Jersey? Speaking of Tyler, let's go to our friends in New Jersey, but appreciate the Midwesterners.
Hi, my name is Melissa, and I'm calling from New Jersey. And my main question for you is two things. When asked when they started
Oh, we didn't. Let's see if you call back in. Oh, look, it looks like you called back in. It looks like we had a. Hold on. It looks twice like we had a rough time getting your phone call. Could we have Melissa? Can you call back in? It looks like both phone calls didn't make it. So feel free to call back.
Bruce from Oregon. Dave, X-Files music time. Hey, what about this? What if there never were these guy twins on the beach? What if they were CGI so Jesse Palmer could talk about twins, and the real twins are Victoria Fuller 1 and Victoria Fuller 2? And so we saw original Victoria Fuller back with Pile Pete, and then Victoria Fuller 2 went on the beach and, you know, had this nice relationship. And then when the beach was over, we go back to Victoria Fuller 1, and they're secretly twins, and that's what's going on. That's my theory. Anyway, talk to you later. Bye!
Bruce, the truth is out there. That's all I have to say about that. I'm having a hard time typing, trying to pull things up, but my left hand is sort of unable to process it all. So anyway, the truth. Jeez. I'm working with one hand here, folks. I'm in a very small. Did I show you guys where my studio setup? Here, let's see. Did Kate say anything else? Let's see. There she is. People said you suck. You're so shallow. It's pathetic. Hope you don't find love. This is me when you're being mean. This is who you're being mean to. Okay, interesting. I love you. Yes, the realist. Okay. All right, let's go back to let's go to my page here. It's just so you guys can properly appreciate what I'm working with here. This is my Instagram story I just made. This is my setup here. I'm sitting right now with two TV stands. I've got a nice little light. These are all things I brought with my checked baggage. That's right, folks. I checked baggage. 3 different flights. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4 different flights. Checked baggage just so I could have quality audio. And this button right here. This is the most expensive button ever. It's not the only button I have. Got this button too.
I don't care if you think I'm pimping for Dave. Barrel scraping Dave.
That's rubbish, Dave.
What a weird world it was this year that I had the Ireland version of the Today Show call me rubbish.
That's rubbish, Dave.
Remember that one? Weird year. All right, anyway, let's so anyway, that's me. That's what I got going on. Mobile setup live on YouTube. There it is, folks. All right, let's keep it going. Let's see what Victoria has shared. She shared, you're allowed to put yourself first. Yeah, put yourself first. Just don't put yourself with Greg Grippo in Rome when you're trying to work things out. The question with Johnny is, it's like, who do you believe? Johnny says he believes that they were still in a relationship when she started seeing Greg. You know, I'm surprised that Greg was so cocky about this. I was very surprised. I don't know if he's leaning into it or if he was just so overcome with the mess that he got himself into that he's like, I guess I'm playing the bad guy here. Let's go back to Chicago.
Hey, Dave. This is Cecilia, Chicago.
What up?
Just wanted to say reunion should have been like 2 parts. I know the season was so extended and kind of dragged out at a couple episodes.
Yeah.
When there was like no one else on the beach to match up with. They should have used that time for the reunion. And I don't think anyone spoke on Tyler. I thought he's so sweet, but I think there's more there that he maybe a little too much of an attachment style. I'm not sure who was being honest, but saying, well, you broke up with me, then you wouldn't talk to me, but you said you loved me. Yeah, sorry, but, you know, when you break up, that's a break up. You're not going to be calling and talking to the person and reassuring them, you know? So it kind of gave me a little bit of codependent, over codependent vibes. And then him talking outside with Johnny, I felt like was his way to say, let's gang up on the women. You know, these women have done us wrong. And I don't know if that was the case with Brittany. I just think she felt like they weren't working out and ended it, and he just couldn't accept the rejection. Thought it was weird. He said, like, your mom sent me a message. Like, maybe her mom just felt that. Like, why would you want to keep, reaching out to her and her family if you're broken up. And I just wish they had addressed way more. We didn't get any Andrew Teddy info, not even a question to Kira and Romeo. Like, so how did it go? You guys, just like a couple sentences. So it was lacking. And bloopers, that's what we're all saying on Twitter. Thanks for all your work. I appreciate it. Bye.
Cecilia in Chicago. Yeah, look, I saw the Johnny situation very differently. Johnny and Tyler I just saw Tyler sticking up for his guy, knowing how wronged Johnny felt. I don't know what that has to do with Brittany too. I know the Brittany situation, it wasn't as serious as Johnny. I mean, they weren't engaged or anything like that. So yeah. But of course, these are the things that Reality Steve had reported were said at the taping that didn't make the air. Johnny said he didn't want to air dirty laundry, but eventually said Victoria threw a wine glass at him and told him she was out of his league. Tyler was out there with the rest of the cast and said he heard from a reporter that Victoria cheated at a party in L.A. So, yeah, they could have... The whole season should have been just a reunion episode. They should have, they dragged out, this whole season when we should have been having more of this reunion stuff. So the question becomes, is the show protecting Victoria? And at what cost? Are they protecting, was Victoria actually worse? I mean, she came off looking bad. Was she worse?
Hi, Sabine from Canada. Question for you, Dave. You've been doing this for a while. What are the analytics like for this season compared to other Bachelor in Paradise seasons? Do you feel like viewership is going down? Is that noticeable? Are the regular fans just interacting so much that it compensates for a decline in viewership? And what do you think of the future of this franchise? Are we just going down the drain? Or will this ship continue sailing? Anyways, thanks a lot.
Sabine, thank you so much. Great questions. I could talk about this stuff all day long. Here's the deal. My channel grew from 10,000 to 50,000 subscribers last year, and this year only gained another 11,000 subscribers. But I have to tell you, it's not subscribers that matter, it's watch time. In this year, we probably are going to surpass last year's watch time. So I can't speak about the show's demographic, but I can tell you our audience is wildly loyal. Our audience, last year you had the Chris Harrison, Rachel Kirkconnell, Matt James, all that drama was huge content. And this year, the stories keep on showing up. The question becomes, will people be exhausted by the day-to-day of it all? To be quite honest, I know a lot of people have said, oh, the viewerships are going down. But look, you could have said the same thing about Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad was one of the greatest shows that was ever made. You could have said, well, 2.5 Men averaged 20 million viewers a week, where Breaking Bad only has 3 million viewers. You could go, is Breaking Bad 8 times worse than 2.5 Men? No. The world has niched down in their content. I can tell you this, I don't see the show going anywhere anytime soon. The show could literally be losing money, but they're going to keep it in that time slot because they need to fill a roster. I've talked about this extensively on a bunch of podcasts. The show would do perfectly fine if it went to Hulu. I'll be the first to tell you, I've watched Dancing with the Stars this year on Disney Plus without commercials. It was a fantastic show. If the show went to Hulu, it wouldn't have FCC laws. They could probably swear more, not, be a little bit more raunchy. They could totally do that. But it's functioning perfectly fine on here. So as far as my numbers, I love the question. I'd love to answer it in more depth, but I can't pull up those numbers right now. But I have to tell you, we've been averaging 1.7 to 2 million views every month, which is insanely high considering our views are long watch hours. But thank you so much for the call.
So this is Addie from Houston, Texas. I was just wondering if you saw Avon's tweet, Avon from Rachel's season, Avon's tweet about him being invited to this, after the final rose and then being disinvited. And then he sarcastically says he wonders why. And I'm like, I wonder what's behind that.
Yeah, here it is. I saw it on Reddit and I haven't had a chance to do much with it. Crazy. No, wrong one. Hold on. crazy. I initially got invited to go to the reunion to support my boys. Wonder why I got disinvited. And some people, someone commented, you mean uninvited? Yeah, he said disinvited. And then he replied, disinvite, withdraw or cancel an invitation to someone. All right, I guess disinvited is a word. Someone said, were you on this season? And that's true. He wasn't on Bachelor in Paradise. Someone said, spill the tea. Yeah. Did Rachel say she wouldn't come if you did? So yeah, the question is, Avon did not have a falling out with Rachel. So I don't know. I mean, geez, there's always drama on this show. Let's keep it going. Let's go to Texas.
Hey Dave, it's Nicole in Dallas. First of all, I want to say I did not see. I didn't watch Pilot Pete's season of The Bachelor. It just seemed juvenile. So I don't know how Victoria acted on that. I know she was she got the villain edit or whatever. But I really thought she was funny on Instagram, and I really messed with her. I don't know. I thought she was cool. But yeah, and I thought she was great this whole season. Her personality, she seemed lovely. But yeah, I think she for sure lied on Johnny's name and manipulated and twisted his words to be something malicious. Also, go check out Avon's Twitter right now. He is spilling some tea, and it's kind of crazy. Like Avon from The Bachelor. Anyways, Rodney for next Bachelor, please. I'm trying to date him. All right, good night. Bye.
Rodney for next Bachelor, she said. All right. Very interesting. Yeah, Rodney would be great for next Bachelor. You know, I got to say, a lot of people have said Logan would be a good Bachelor too. So, not really sure. We got a whole year before that happens, but yeah. I mean, did Avon say anything other than this? I don't know. I don't know why he would be disinvited. I couldn't tell you that. But yeah, lots to speculate after watching this season here. Sorry guys, 1 second. I'm going to have Reality Steve call in with his thoughts. So let's go to another voicemail.
Hi Dave, this is Vanessa from Minnesota, and I think watching back, I kind of changed a little bit in how I felt about the Sierra, Caitlin, Danielle situation. I thought Sierra handled herself pretty well, and I kind of look back and I think I thought it was kind of shady that the girls, Caitlin and Danielle, forgot her name. I think I got those names right. And then also the Eliza Rodney situation. I didn't know how I felt about that. I thought she was kind of changing her tune once again when she was saying that she still had feelings for Rodney. So those are just my thoughts. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you so much for calling in. You know what? Let's see. I've got this Zoom link. No, that's not going to work for me. I was just trying to see if I could pipe in Reality Steve here. Let's see if I can get him. What if I do this? Hold on 1 second while I try to work this out. If I do the chat, let's see, interview on, and then hold on 1 second, folks. I'm trying to get my camera set up here, FaceTime camera, and then maybe I can move it to a square. I'm just going to see if I can get Reality Steve to join me this way. Actually, I have a link. Hold on 1 second, guys. Let's play another voicemail while we wait for this to work. And here we go. 1 second here.
Hi, Dave. It's Mimi again. I just wanted to say that I thought Tyler and most of the guys were there for each other, which is something unusual. And I can't stand Victoria. Bye.
All right, Mimi, thank you so much for calling in. Yeah, the guys had some camaraderie there. Absolutely. Let's go to Canada.
Hey, this is Michael from Calgary, Canada, with
Lorna.
And we got a couple things. First off, why do they not talk to everyone on the panel? Little discouraging. And what's the deal with Victoria? Little standoffish, possibly. And we're Team Tyler over here.
You bet.
And that's all we got to say, Dave. We're watching your show.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for calling in. I really appreciate you guys all sticking around because there's a lot going on my end here. As you guys know, I'm traveling, so it's got a lot going on, but I appreciate you guys sticking around. We've got Steve who's going to call in or Skype in a minute, and I didn't ask him ahead of time, but let's go to Jill.
Hey Dave, this is Jill. I have a theory I wanted to run by you. So it really did seem like Victoria was super fake and she showed up on the reunion show a totally different person. Would it be possible that she was being coached by Greg? They were in some sort of relationship before she went on the show and that he coached her because during his season on The Bachelor, he was very successful at convincing Katie he was a sweet, nice, quiet guy when in reality we all figured out that he was like actually a jerk. And it's kind of similar to the Piper Brendan situation on the beach in Paradise last time. Is that possible?
Well, yes, anything's possible, but I have to tell you, I truly don't think there was something really sinister prepared by Victoria. I believe she loved Johnny. I think, and again, I don't know, so you got to be careful because this is just me as a fan. I'm a fan of Victoria in a sense that I'm bewildered by the way she acts, and I'm always wondering like, oh my gosh, how does she think like this? The way her brain works, But then again, we watch a curated show, so you have to go off of, in order to see like Victoria's chaos, you have to look at other people and see how they react to her. You have Pilot Pete, who is like bewildered, like befuddled by Victoria. Now you have Johnny, who's like they have the same emotions, like how I can't communicate to this person. So it makes you wonder if Victoria is a very normal presenting person until it gets to a point where lines are crossed, and then it's how do I jockey myself to play a victim in a situation. So I don't think that Greg was necessarily an option for her before Paradise, and because of that, I feel like Johnny was the default choice. When things weren't working out with Johnny and Greg was in the picture, was there physical cheating? We'll never know. But Johnny, as he said it, he believes that it was cheating, and the crowd clapped on that. Not to say we go off of what just the crowd says, but they were very much in support of that narrative that Johnny said. Look, like in one way or another, there was some cheating.
Hey, this is Kate in Florida, just watching you, and just want to say, so I wasn't vibing with Jill most of the season, but that was actually super cute with Jacob, so go down. And as far as, Griptoria, I'm definitely not a Grippo girl. And yeah, I think she is a producer favorite and it's maybe protected. So if that's the best you could come off with that, then maybe there is a little bit something suspicious there. Definitely more of a Johnny fan. And I will say, after having watching 4 hours, a week for how many months, and just to get, 2 hours for this, it did seem kind of like a small payoff, but that's why I love, that we have this community too, so we can continue the chat. And also, and Tyler's a gem, and you're a gem too, Dave, and also congrats to you and Tisha, and love this community. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Bye!
Kay in Florida, thank you so much for calling me a gem. Oh, with all the love that's out there, I appreciate getting some of that love. Thank you. Yeah, look, Griptoria, as it were. Leave your voicemails, guys. Let me know what you think. This is clearly the biggest story. We saw Tyler's words not make it onto the final edit. When Reality Steve calls in, stick around for that. He's going to call in any minute. He's sending out some last-minute tweets right now. But when he calls in, I want to find out exactly what he believes was kept out of the finale. And look, did the edit make Victoria look great? No, but the show obviously was going to have to address Greg. You have to remember, all of the Greg Grippo stuff came out right before this taping. This taping was several weeks ago. But the taping was only several weeks after Rome happened. So are we to believe? Are we to believe that they only started dating for the first time in Rome? And then 2 weeks later, they're going to go on national TV? I don't think so, guys. I don't think so.
Hi, Dave. It's Linda from Indianapolis.
Hi, Linda.
Happy for Brandon and Serene,
Yeah.
Danielle and Michael. I'm a little sad for
Johnny, probably.
didn't get to have any things from Jill and Lace and
Oh, yeah, Lace?
Andrew and any of the others. The Victoria and Greg thing, that segment was just wrong and hurtful to Johnny and unnecessary. 4, I'm playing for Rodney and Rodney for Bachelor. 5, happy holidays to you and Tasha and Boone, and just, I love you, your little family.
Oh, thanks, Linda.
I just watch you every day. I just can't tell you how much you mean to me.
Oh, Linda, thank you. We appreciate you. That's very
Bye.
kind. Linda in Indianapolis, everybody. Thank you so much. All right, we have Reality Steve calling in here. Let's go right to it. Hold on a second. Let's get him on the line. Boy, how do I do this? Add, let's see, solo. Oh, he's in the green room. Oh, there it is. Assigned 1. There it goes. All right. Hey, how are you, man?
Hey, am I on video? Am I doing this right?
Oh, yeah, you're on video. I like that shirt.
I only see you. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, my flux capacitor.
Oh, yeah, looking good.
Okay.
Well, what did you think, man?
I think that anyone that is not a family or friend of Victoria Fuller can't possibly think that she came across well tonight. Am I crazy in thinking that? Like, take away anything that you even thought or knew about the Greg Grippo situation, just the way she handled herself on stage last night. I gotta believe the only people that think, oh yeah, she really handled herself well up there, are people who are good friends with her, the Kellys and the Kelseys of the world, or people who are her family, because I thought she came across terrible.
Yeah, she did the whole I don't care what anybody thinks thing.
Which she absolutely does care what everybody thinks.
I was more surprised by Greg Grippo because the last time we saw him was kind of like remorseful Greg Grippo. And I think he was generally surprised that he got sucked into all that. What were your thoughts about Greg's situation?
It's almost like Greg is playing, the wrestling term is a heel. It's like he's turned heel on everyone. Not that he was like a face or a good guy before. I mean, he was probably in the middle. Some people liked him, some people didn't. But just his appearance and like, yeah, look at us, we got tattoos. And his girl is up there saying, we don't care what anybody thinks about us. It's like they are a heel couple now that outside of a few people who, translate being hot into being interesting, seem to just think that they're like the it couple, and they don't seem to have much of a support system. They didn't seem like they had a lot of support from the people that were sitting on stage. Like, it didn't seem like the cast was too thrilled about the way she said and the way she went and handled everything with Johnny either. Let's not forget that.
When Johnny said, hey, it was definitely at least emotional overlap. When he said that, the whole audience cheered for him. I mean, it seemed like it was pretty one-sided by the audience's standard.
Yeah, I think I think that there's, well, obviously, like I said, I don't think a lot of people are really supporting them. They did leave a lot out of what Tyler said. I'm under the impression that, sorry, I keep getting these texts coming in. These texts aren't appearing on the screen, are they?
No.
Live screen, okay. I think it's really, really weird how much was left on the cutting room floor in this episode from what was said. Now, granted, I get that it was 10 hours of taping that day. They were literally there from 9 a.m. Actually, it was more. It was 15 hours of taping. The audience was there from 9 a.m. to midnight. It was a joke. So clearly, 15 hours of taping cut down into, with commercials, 80 minutes. Clearly, there's going to be a lot of stuff left out. But my gosh, it seemed like every single piece, the couples that got up there, Andrew was on the hot seat for like an hour. He never said a word tonight, or at least that we saw him say a word tonight.
Yeah,
the whole thing was just really bizarre.
What was your thought about things that were left out? We did not get to see the wine glass toss accusations, correct?
Yeah, we didn't see that. For those that don't know, Johnny, after Victoria threw out the "you called me an F and C word" and the thing about the cooking and cleaning and what good are you as a woman, Johnny retorted back with, "Well, you also told me that you also threw a wine glass at me, and you told me that you were out of my league." So it's like they didn't present a fair argument. They only showed Victoria's side, and yeah, granted, it's all hearsay. But the problem is with everything that Victoria said, and kind of even with what Johnny said, even though I think most people are taking Johnny's side, everything that they presented. And in terms of the emotional cheating and stuff like that you had talked about, the only way for us to know is if literally Victoria pulls out her phone and says, "Hey, America, this is every text that Greg and I sent to each other while as an engaged woman." That'd be the only way we're going to know for sure whether or not she had emotionally cheated. It's very easy for her to say, "No, I didn't," because we don't know. But I guarantee if we look at those texts, knowing that they ended up going to Italy and knowing that every single post that she's posted since she's been in Italy, Greg has either been the person behind the camera or the person with her, it's very hard to believe that at no point during her engagement to Johnny, when she was texting Greg post-show, which we know, that at no point it ever crossed the line of friendship. I just find it hard to believe. It's not her brand.
Have you ever been to Rome on a first date?
Yeah, what the hell? Who goes to Rome on a first date?
I'm pretty gullible, but I love that saying, "Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining." And it felt like they had 2 weeks to come up with a storyline, and that was the best they could do. Where's the creativity?
Yeah, I was just like, really? We in 2 days you decided to book that trip? I mean, come on. Like, it's just, that's why I say it doesn't seem like they have a lot of support. And it's their relationship now. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I don't put much stock into it. I mean, this is a woman that we saw in tonight's episode that 5 months previous was telling Johnny to his face, "I can't see my life without you." And then within a month of them getting off the island, I keep saying island, a month of them getting off the beach, she's basically telling him it's not working. It's just like, okay, but you literally said a month ago, "I can't see you, not in my life." Even mentioned something about father of her children, right? And I'm just like, it just seems like she's very hot and cold, and whoever the next new guy is, unfortunately, Greg, she's your problem now. And
well, it seems like
probably going to suffer the same fate as those before him that have gotten in the wrath of Victoria Fuller. That's just my opinion. I don't think they're going to last.
Yeah, and the way I look, relationships, they're like cars. If you can diagnose what's wrong, it's easy to fix. It seems like with, well, at least sometimes, I don't know if the parts exist to fix this issue, but with Victoria, she doesn't go like full-blown, war zone until she's crossed. So you get to see like she's very charming. She's very friendly with other people. She's all these things, but like when this trigger happens, you get that moment. She started with Johnny being like, "Are you okay, Johnny?" And then next thing you know, she's like, "Oh yeah." She was just like barrel loaded, ready to go. It is like so volatile.
Yeah, she's certainly got a mean streak to her. And, just that example that you just gave about her with Johnny tonight, I don't think that's any different than what we saw her when she was attacking Peter on his season. She just has that mean streak where you cross her. Alea had to suffer through that when Alea showed back up on the show for Peter's season and Victoria confronted Alea in her hotel room and went off on her. Like, you can't tell me she doesn't have a giant bitch streak in her, because she does. And we've seen it now 3 times. We've seen it with Peter. We've seen it with Alea. We see it with Johnny. Who who knows what she did with Chris Soules behind closed doors and in that relationship. So it's just like when people show you who they are the first time, believe them.
Yeah. Well, you had this story weeks ago, so you've provided more context than the actual reunion episode did. Why didn't they make this reunion longer? I mean, they had all the content there.
I know so much recapping in this reunion of going over, hey, let's look at how you got to this point and look at your journey. It's like, let's get to the nuts and bolts. The thing that I'm disappointed in and the thing that sucks the most, finding out about the Aaron girlfriends back home. Hi. Finding out about the Aaron girlfriends back home, I think 5 days after this taping aired, because it would have been so much more juicier for Genevieve to get up on that stage and be like, whoa, Aaron. Because that was, you can be like, why was she so nice to him on stage? And Aaron's apology of all this. It was a lot of nicey nice, but that was before Genevieve knew the story that I had posted in the last couple of weeks about these two women that found out about each other pre-filming. That would have been way juicier. Kind of like it's basically like the Nate stuff. Like the Nate stuff broke right before they had taped the Men Tell All, so Jesse was kind of forced to bring it up at the Men Tell All. They would have been forced to bring it up if I had put this out there. If I knew beforehand, I didn't until I think that they taped on a Friday. I think I found out on Tuesday.
Yeah, like the commodity that everyone watches is the drama, and you're able to get it to the audience faster than the show can edit it, which really takes the wind out of their sails. I think it's a ton of fun. Last question before I let you go. I appreciate you jumping on. I know we didn't plan this. What's your go-to Thanksgiving dish?
It's funny. I was going to talk about this in my podcast this upcoming week because I'm going to release a daily one on Thursday, even though it's Thanksgiving. Because I have a whole take on, because I'm come from the sports talk radio background, and I love driving around in my car, driving to where I'm going on Thursdays, on Thanksgiving Thursday, and listening to sports talk radio because nobody's really listening, so they're just begging for content, and they always throw out the line of, what are your favorite dishes on Thanksgiving? And what's your final four of side dishes? It's such horrible content. However, I will answer the question. I'm not a huge sides guy. I'm just a straight, give me stuffing, give me mashed potatoes, and give me green bean casserole. Everything else, and some rolls. Everything else I hate. I hate asparagus. I hate sweet potatoes. I hate sweet potato pie. I hate, any sort of, I'm trying to think of what other sides there would be. I'm just a straight, give me turkey, mashed potatoes and gravy, stuffing, and green bean casserole.
Yeah, you're like a Tom Cruise movie. Just give me a simple storyline, right down the middle. Let me have fun. I don't need this art house crap. Just feed me.
Do you put gravy on everything?
I'm a big gravy guy. I'm also a big cranberry sauce guy. I make my own cranberry sauce.
Not a fan of cranberries, not a fan of yams. It's just the basics for me. I put gravy on everything except for the green bean casserole, even though it gets mixed in there. It's almost impossible to separate.
You just haven't had my cranberry sauce yet, so that's why. But well, look, man, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, and I appreciate you taking the time to call us. We're almost at 1,000 people, so everyone go check out Reality Steve, his daily morning podcast, realitysteve.com, or just search Reality Steve Podcasting. Anything else to promote?
No, not really. That's pretty much it. Yeah, my podcast will be up tomorrow morning, and my column, we're talking about a lot of the stuff that we just talked about, will be up tomorrow, and reader emails, and that's it. And then I'll still have a podcast on Thursday.
Well, without saying any names, any big stories in the pipeline?
No. I mean, I'm starting to. Obviously, I put out the spoilers for Zach's season. I don't know who won yet. I know up to the final three. We saw our first trailer tonight for Zach's season. I was able to identify all the women to go on my Twitter account if you want to know who's who. But still trying to find out the winner to Zach's season, and then obviously storylines to go with that. So that's my next big project. I've put out the spoilers of dates and eliminations, but I'm trying to get to villain stuff. What are the major storylines? What's the drama this season on Zach's season? Just kind of take it from there. But that'll be the next stuff I'm working on over the next 9 weeks until Zach's season starts.
I was going to say, is it end of January? Is that when we have?
23rd of January. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
first time in 15 years it hasn't been the first Monday in January. It's always been. It was Zach is season 27. Season 13, I believe, was the last one that wasn't first Monday in January. So it has to do with NFL football being on ABC, and I get it because this is the first time NFL playoffs have been on ABC. So they just basically were like, well, we don't want to start on Monday the 2nd and then have an episode on the 9th and have to take a week off on the 16th because ABC has a NFL wildcard game that Monday night. So it's like, okay, it makes sense. You're going to start until all of NFL playoffs on ABC are over and then start on the 23rd. So I get it.
They know our audience will take whatever slop they feed us whenever they feed it to us. So
yeah, for sure.
All right, buddy. Well, have a good one, man. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, how's married life been for the last month?
Pretty good. I'm at the wife's family's house right now, so just hanging out. We're going to go in the hot tub after this, and yeah, pretty, nothing's changed. We've been married psychologically for years.
Yeah, it just, isn't it, like I always says, like, hey, I mean, if you were living with your now wife, if you guys were living together and you were cohabitating pre-marriage, it's kind of like, the only thing that's changed is some sort of official title, really. Right?
Yeah, I mean, nothing had changed, like, mentally. It's nice to call her my wife, but we've been, it's very symbolic, and it's good for everyone. But like we were already there.
Where's her family?
We're in Northern Kentucky.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm going to do a show in Cincinnati tomorrow, and then I'll be in Rhode Island over the weekend for a show, and then New York for a couple shows. We're going to do a nice little see my family in Rhode Island after. So yeah.
Okay. So you're doing stand-up shows in those places?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Just getting around.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
All right, buddy. Well, thanks for calling in. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good Thanksgiving.
You too. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Reality Steve right there. There he is, Reality Steve, the man, the myth, the legend, the spoiler king. He's been, Reality Steve has been working overtime the last month. There have been a lot of stories. I'm going to play a couple of your voicemails just so I can catch my breath. Thanks so much for dealing with the technical difficulties there. I didn't have my settings right. I wasn't prepared. Trust me when I say this, I wasn't prepared to take any video calls, but then I texted him and he was going to call, but I'm glad we did the video conference. I'm sure I got some text messages from people telling me that my sound was off, but I appreciate that that you guys hung out for me while we fixed that audio. So now that means I have to go back to my other audio here. Hold on one second. This should get back to my other audio, and now you can hear me from the crispy, smooth, and clear voice. All right, here we go. Let's go to Patrice in Washington, D.C.
Hi, Dave. My name is Patrice, and I'm from Washington, D.C. I actually kind of feel a little bit awkward for Eliza. I just wish she would have, apologized and owned up to it without trying to reconcile with Rodney, if I'm making sense. She just embarrassed herself, and I kind of felt embarrassed for her.
Yeah, thank you so much, Patrice in Washington. Great voicemail. Thank you for that. Voicemail line's open, 401-213-9828, 401-213-9828. Yeah, Eliza, she seems very sweet. She just seems like a nice person that's never been scrutinized before, and who has? So in a normal world, you can make a mistake, you can pick the wrong guy and then get dumped by the guy, and you can crawl back to the first and not have people see it. But in this world, it's like every decision you make is out there. Thank you so much for the call. Karen in Ontario, you're up.
Hi, Dave. It's Karen from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. I might be the only person that might be seeing Victoria differently. I am a woman who, for many years, did not feel I deserved to be loved. So every time something got really good, I'd go and screw it up on purpose. And I think that's what Victoria does. If you watched her in Tyler Pete's season, every time things got really sweet for her, she'd screw things up and she'd have a freak out. And the same thing, I think, happened again. Unfortunately, Greg Grippo, he's going to be the next person that falls. And hopefully she gets what she needs in the future. Bye.
Yeah, Karen in Ontario, thank you so much for the voicemail. I appreciate your grace and understanding of what Victoria might be going through. Yeah, like we always say, hurt people hurt people. And I hope Victoria is doing the work that she needs to do to make herself happy. Not anybody else, but just herself. Because if it is Greg Grippo as the guy or whoever it may be, we just hope that, I think when it comes down to relationships, you need to like throw your ego aside and really just try to assume that your partner's trying their best, even if you're coming at it from different ways. The problem I see with Victoria is she's always seen trying to win the fight, and I don't think that's necessarily the most helpful angle to take on it. Maybe she's trying to win the fights because they're done on national TV, and on national TV there's more pride that has to exist. When you're fighting in private, you don't have to worry about pride as much. Yeah, you don't want to have your ego damaged by your partner, the person you love, all that for sure. But at the same time, you have the ability to, think a little bit more clear-headed than this sort of dogfight that exists on the show.
Hi, Dave. This is Mimi from Pittsburgh. Just wanted to say now I have two boyfriends, Johnny and Logan. And I thought those tattoos that Victoria and her boyfriend had looked like a 3-year-old did those. I couldn't even understand what they said. Bye.
Oh, it was so funny. All right, Mimi's just dating all the guys in Bachelor Nation. Look, I got to tell you, I've received so many kind comments from so many different men that are on the show. Men that you saw tonight. Not just men, women too. It's been, and if any of them are watching right now or listening or have called in, I have to say, trust me when I tell you this. I'll make a pledge to anyone who goes on the show. I'm going to try my darndest to give grace and benefit of the doubt that everyone's trying their best. I believe that with Victoria too. But we can't just, I mean, whether we forgive Victoria or not, she's not apologizing. It's not about forgiving. But with someone like Victoria, we go, look, so often we look on these shows as like, who's the bad guy? And it's not that Victoria's a bad person. It's just that when it comes down to it, push come to shove, she's got all the tools in her tool belt to wreck a guy, to just wreck a guy. And I see Johnny as a guy that we call him like a useful idiot. Not that he's an idiot at all, but in this scenario, he took the bait. He fell for her. They were together, and maybe she believed that it was love and this and that. But through whatever fights they were having, through whatever bitterness, she had the bigger following. I'm sure she's got a bank account. She's a little bit older. She's already done the Bachelor circuit. She knows how to make money off the show. She's already kind of conquered this all. And Johnny's sort of just like a new kind of dude in this situation. So I understand how challenging and difficult it must be for Johnny to try to be on the same level playing ground with her when she clearly feels like she's like in the right more often than not. Annie says, Dave Neal, happy hour pre-Thanksgiving in Rome tomorrow night at 5 p.m. All right, should we do a Rome happy hour tomorrow night? Let's see what else is going on here. I think we're at a voicemail, so feel free to call the voicemail line, 401-213-9828. Call the voicemail line. Do me a favor, will someone call the voicemail line? I missed part of the first half of the episode because I was driving back from family's house. But can someone let me know what I missed with regards to how Brittany and Tyler ended? I would love to hear that conversation. I did not catch that conversation. I'd appreciate a succinct phone call, if you will. And let's go over here. Again, voicemail line is open. What is happening says, who the hell meets in Rome for a drink? Yeah, I mean, honestly, I just didn't get it. I didn't understand, like, clearly, no, that could have been the case. That could have been the case where they said, let's get to know each other. Let's just go to a different country. But not to call it trashy, but really, did you think Rome was the city? You know, if you wanted to go meet somewhere, go to I don't know, Croatia. I say Croatia because it's probably less American tourists. Try to go somewhere, go to Colombia. I don't know. I feel like there's so many places they could have gone that would be less touristy than Rome. I feel like that's a very American place to visit. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe anywhere they would have gone, it would have been, it would have been, they would have been called out. I'm not sure. Let's see what we have here. Let's go all the way back up to the top of the Bachelor in Paradise sort of chart here. Hold on one second. Let's see if there's any new thoughts. What's trending? Okie dokie. Wait. What? Why is Victoria in Zach's preview? Of course, that's the question. Why would Victoria be in Zach's preview? Zach wasn't on the show. Zach's from Texas, right? There's probably no reason why Victoria is in Zach's preview. We did hear that Taejuan, am I pronouncing that right? Comes back to Zach's show. Did they intentionally dress as good versus evil, or was that an accident? Yeah. Victoria dressed up as like a sexy Steve Jobs, with the thing going on there. So many good options for Bachelor. Look, Tyler, I think Tyler has some more time in the community. Johnny obviously couldn't have been Bachelor. Johnny and Rodney, it was too soon, I think, to be Bachelor. But I'm not sure. All right, we got a couple voicemails. Let's check them out.
Hey, this is Jen from North Carolina.
Hey, Jen.
I'm bummed about Brittany and Tyler. Through most of the season, she seemed like one of the chillest, most reasonable females on the beach, and she was just so cold in the breakup. And I agree that Victoria's way of handling things and treating people probably stems from deeper issues. I think we all have deeper issues. Just the way she goes about it is so disrespectful and uncaring. I think that part just, it's hard to have a ton of compassion for her, even though I know that everyone on that screen, everyone that's watching, we all have some sort of baggage that we come with. But anyways, you're doing great, Dave. Bye.
Oh, thank you so much. I know you're not wrong when you say we've all got baggage we come with. Absolutely. I always try to be as judge-free as possible. But when it comes to Victoria, we knew going into this season she was going to be the star of Bachelor in Paradise, and she delivered.
Hey, Dave. It's Cecilia from Chicago again. Thanks for playing my voicemail. I just wanted to say everyone's freaking out on Twitter because we see Victoria in the next season of The Bachelor. I thought, am I seeing things? Someone screenshotted her, and I said, well, maybe she's just going to be speaking. But no, I mean, if someone's on camera, they're probably filming the season unless they did that to shock us. Wonder if you have any info. Obviously, we'll be watching all your content because you have the inside info, and it was great to see Reality Steve. Who knew? I've heard those tapings are very long. Who knew it was that long? And absolutely should have given us at least a two-parter, just with more questions from each cast member, like I said. Anyway, thanks again. Happy Thanksgiving. Congrats on your wedding, and I hope you have a wonderful holiday season and a blessed New Year. God bless everyone. I hope we're all safe and have a wonderful rest of the year.
Cecilia in Chicago, thank you so much. I should take this moment to speak directly to the camera. I want to let you guys know how thankful I am to have all of you in our community. Without an audience, the performer can't perform. You guys have been there in so many different ways, from gifts that you've sent us to positive messages to my wife and myself, to dozens of you sending wedding gifts on our registry and donations, all of your support, dog treats for our beloved dog. You guys have been there for several years now. It's an army. It's overwhelming. When I finish a big live stream, I sit in bed with my heart pumping. I'm full of love. Thank you guys so, so much. My Thanksgiving is full of gratitude for all of you guys. Truly. I mean it. You've been something I could have never believed would exist in a YouTube audience.
Hi, this is Davon from Utah,
and she'll only have one thing to say. Kate's probably the most horrible person I've ever seen in my life, and she deserves to get eggs thrown at her every day.
No.
And Logan's a sweetheart. And now my friend Carly from Utah has something to say.
This is Carly from Salt Lake City, who converted Dave on last season into the show. But yeah, it was crazy, but like, I just feel like they should have gone into more of each person's story. Like, we barely got to know about any person. They spent like 5 minutes. Like, why couldn't they do an extra hour or get rid of like the Wells like recap stuff? I just think the producers this season, it's just been crazy. I don't know. I mean, this was fun, but like, it could have been so much more done. So that's all I have to say.
We love you.
Love you, Dave, Neal, and everyone. Bye.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. No egging anybody. You can metaphorically egg someone, but we don't need physical egging. But I appreciate your call here. I appreciate Carly in Salt Lake, right? So anyway, I'm not going to jump into any of the spoilers from Reality Steve, but I did want to see, he was just listing, based on the trailer, who's who in the different season here. So we have Charity, Brianna, and Mercedes. Caitlin looks kind of like a villain, doesn't she? Excuse me, I'm burping. Brooklyn looks like she'll cause trouble. Oh, she's trouble. Gabriella, Davia, Madison. Oh, Reality Steve was really on top of it. Speaking of getting on top of things. Oh, wrong one. I meant to do the OMG button and I hit this one.
Oh my god.
Those are both good buttons. Which one's better, that one or this one? All right, anyway, let's play a few more of your voicemails. I'm going to get out of here in a few minutes, but I've got a couple more voicemails to play.
Hi, Dave. It's Karen from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada again. I forgot to mention, I do hope that Johnny, now that he's open to marriage, I hope he doesn't shut down. And second, could you have picked two more opposite girls? Gabby, the good girl, Victoria, known as the bad girl. Have a great night. Bye.
Thank you so much. Yeah, there seems to be some sort of battle between Victoria and Kate and who done what, who's bad. You know, we'll have a lot of content tomorrow on Kate. I think Kate's super redeemable. I think, again, I'll be the first to call her out, but I'll be the first to defend her in that she probably was like, you know, when she was saying like my sister in Christ or whatever the hell she was saying, that's her version of when Thomas was saying, I'm 6'8". Oh, it's tall up here. You know, that was just like her crutch she was going to talk. She was like, oh yeah, women, like I'm sure she learned early on she could make fun of a guy for like being the type of guy who doesn't have a nice car, and all the ladies would be like, oh, you stop it, you know. I'm sure it was like some bad joke that she realized she could get a ruse out of other people, but obviously as she's apologized, it's not appropriate.
This is Janine from Nebraska, and I think Johnny, Anthony, Tyler, and the other one, Rodney, are the very best, and I think they all got the shaft from the women. So I think those guys are the greatest, and as well as you. So happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So I'm going to get going in a couple minutes. I've got several voicemails left, but I've got a long day tomorrow. We're going to be filming all day, and we've got to cook for Thanksgiving and have a stand-up show tomorrow night. So lots going on. Friday, we fly to Boston, and then I have a stand-up show in Rhode Island on Saturday. So this Saturday, November 26th, I've got a stand-up show. There's a couple, I think there's like 20 plus tickets left if anyone wants to come. It's going to be a fun time. And then next week I'll be in New York City. So we're going to be very busy, but we'll be here with you with the mobile studio.
Hi, Dave. I am Jasmine, and I'm calling from New Orleans, Louisiana. And my opinion is, why are we acting like Johnny and also Victoria weren't just a toxic couple? I don't think that she cheated on him. I just think that they were toxic, and she left him. She left his ass in the grass and moved on with her life and started dating Greg. I don't get what the big deal is.
Yeah, I mean, if that's true, but not to reject your premise. Thank you so much, Jasmine, for calling from New Orleans, Louisiana, from the Big Easy. I don't know if that's true. we've got one guy saying he was trying to work on their relationship and they were still together. And she's saying, no, we weren't. So could it have been that she had decided they weren't going to get back together, but he in his heart of hearts thought they were still together? Sure, I guess so. We just really don't know. All right, let's go to George in Chicago.
Hey, Dave, this is Jorge from Chicago. Quick question. Would you have rather gotten married by Jesse Palmer?
No.
Hope all is well. Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Congrats on the wedding.
Oh, thank you. George in Chicago. No, I'll tell you what, he's too tall and too strong. I would feel insecure next to him, but thanks for the call.
Hey, Dave. This is Jen from North Carolina again, and just want to say that I appreciate you, and I know that everybody else appreciates you. I found your channel a couple years ago. You were still doing the bookshelf, and you just brought joy when I was going through a really, really difficult time in my life. My dad had a stroke, and this was when California was still in lockdown, and had to watch him suffer and pass away without being able to be with him. And it was one of the most trying times. Really just didn't want to move forward and live anymore. And watching you got me through that. And even though we've never met, you're like a friend, and your content always provides something to look forward to. So thank you for all that you do. I think it reaches people in more ways than you realize.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you. I'm sorry about your father. Your story is unique, and yet so many different people through the pandemic have had similar stories of reaching out and wanting a place to connect. And if our channel just can be a very simple place where we can stumble upon it, your jobs and mine are no different. We're all connecting. So I appreciate you for sharing that. Thank you so much. Final voicemail.
Katie from Washington, D.C. I'm calling because I actually have an unpopular opinion to share.
Give it.
I think that Brandon and Serene, I just didn't feel like I really saw them fall in love. It was like I didn't know why they loved each other. All I kept hearing were kind of like lines, like he kept just saying, you know, I'm the luckiest man in the world to be with her and this and that. And it's just like, well, why? Why do they love each other? We didn't really get to see any of that. And it just seems like, it almost seems fake. I mean, I'm not saying that they aren't in love, but at least from our point of view, we didn't really get to see what they loved about each other. So yeah, I know that's unpopular, but I just feel like no real good couples came out of this season other than them, but then we didn't really get to see why they fell in love. All right, Dave, thanks. Bye.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's one of those things with Bachelor in Paradise, Bachelorette, when someone proposes, you just have to wait and see if they're real or not. There's been couples that have stood the test of time, and then there have been those that fizzle right away. And it's super easy to think you found love if you're on some resort somewhere. I agree that Brandon is very good at the way he compliments, but I also believe him when he says it. It's just obviously a relationship's more than just looks. It's more than just being physically attracted to someone. I think it was very easy for Brandon to explain his physical attraction for Serene. I think it was very easy for him to be like, oh my gosh, I'm head over heels, you're gorgeous, this and that. But I'm sure there's more there. She's a sweetheart. She's probably got many layers of different lovely things about her. So I think that there's probably more to it than that. But I think that Brandon's probably easier to explain his love for her beauty. And they are a beautiful couple, aren't they? They are just so dang good looking. What is happening said, okay, I thought the pee in the pool scene was nasty. Yeah. Shayla Lopez says maybe they were just boring to follow. Yeah, and that's it too. Yeah, that's absolutely true, is that, they had nothing problematic to say. Tapping the Source said, making the women accountable and showing how genuine the men actually were was the defining message of the night. Well, I mean, every relationship's different, really. So, you could say that Genevieve came off better than Aaron. So I don't know. D. Patterson says Victoria Fuller and Greg Grippo will last 6 months tops. Who knows? I mean, maybe like again, this will be the optimist in me, but maybe all of these things that have happened to Victoria have been guideposts and lessons to learn, and then Greg has swept her off her feet. I just don't know if Greg, and again, we don't know him at all, but I don't know if Greg's going to have the energy to put out the fires that are going to be needed to be put out. Bruce said, shout out to Dave for launching a sweet podcast, making fire content and being a great friend to us all. Oh, thank you so much, Bruce. You know, I've got this cool button right here I like to press that has the Bachelor Rush Hour right down there. I'll take this moment to maybe read a couple nice messages from you guys. Just so you know, there will be, I think I'll have a Thursday episode up for those that are going to be on the road. I think it's just going to be more stream of conscience. It's just going to be me kind of sharing with you guys maybe half an hour of what's going on. So here's the podcast, 352 ratings. You guys have really been amazing with it. We have about 1,800 daily listeners, which is, don't get me wrong, super amazing. But we definitely want to get that number up. So if you don't listen, so hold on, we got a negative one. Someone said, confusing. Wanted to pop this one while cleaning to get my Bachelor gossip fix. That's what this is supposed to be, right? I do not care about Dave's opinion on the Twitter Elon Finasco. Now, the podcast is going to be a combination of things, one of which may be my personal life, and I have a special guest. Are you going to come with me now? Right for the very end here. Ladies and gentlemen, a special guest to bring to the podcast, Tasha
Well,
Courtney.
hello.
Look at this. Don't you like this big screen we have here?
Yeah, wow,
I got
pretty cool.
Looking pretty. Oh, show us your outfit here. Hold my hand here to the most gorgeous lady of them all. Give me one of these. Wow, very nice. Here, have a seat.
Thanks.
Talk to us. People are saying hello out there.
Hi, everybody.
We got Reality Steve sent in a nice video conference.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we had a
cool.
last-minute video conference with Reality Steve. What were your thoughts from the back end of the episode?
Most dramatic season ever.
Some people have asked about this lamp. What are your tell us about this lamp?
It's an antique. I don't know.
It's an antique. I'm not allowed to touch that desk, the dresser. I'm not allowed to go near it. By the way, I have confirmation that Jen Murphy has sent us another batch of presents for Christmas.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I don't know if Jen Murphy's in the chat, but I'm sure she'll be there. But look at that. Oh, the
exciting.
comment section is lighting up for Tasha. Lots of people lighting up for Tasha there. Tapping the source said, everyone give the video a like ASAP. What are you most looking forward to for Thanksgiving?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know. Hanging out, lots of food.
What food in particular?
Some rolls. Really good dinner rolls at Thanksgiving.
I'm not too sure myself. I'm a little bit of everything, but I really need to go easy on the sweets. Oh boy, we had pizza tonight. Need to go easy on it. What are you most thankful for? First month being married. What are you most thankful for, baby?
I'm just thankful that we finally got married.
I know.
It took a long time, huh?
Yeah, the pandemic. We just had a nice voicemail from someone who called in and said, during the pandemic, her dad had a stroke and passed away, and she found the community here during the pandemic. And I know a lot of people have sent similar messages that are the main through line is community. So Goose Khan said, did you meet her on the street of Sunny in Philadelphia? Always Sunny in Philadelphia? On the set of Sunny in Philadelphia? No. Do you look like you've been on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
No.
Maybe you look like the barmaid from the show. Anyway, everyone's sending you their love. Are we going to go in the hot tub or not?
Yeah, absolutely.
How does it feel being a wife? Tell us about wife life.
Pretty cool.
That'd be a good podcast, wife life.
How does it feel being a husband? Any different?
I told Steve asked, and I said, come on. I mean, it's no. No, it doesn't. You can show the
rings. Do you like wearing your ring?
Show yours.
Nah.
You don't want to show do you have your ring on?
Yeah.
Oh, we just got a super chat. Hold on. Who sent us no one sent me a super chat till you were here. Oh, Willie Billy sent a super chat. Let's see. Thank you so much, Willie Billy. $10 from Willie Billy. Much appreciated. That's going to go to tomorrow's stuffing.
Ooh.
And you know we have we know the podcast. We know the live stream is doing well right now. That we have spam coming in, but that's totally fine. We were up to almost 1,000 people in the audience.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up. So time for hot tub or no? Is it too late?
No, absolutely not too late. I gotta go finish helping my dad.
All right, get out of here.
All right.
I'm actually gonna wrap it up myself. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for all your support this Bachelor in Paradise season. We'll see you next season. Just kidding. We'll be back tomorrow. As you guys know, we are daily Bachelor content. We used to be, I used to take these month-long hiatuses in between seasons. We're not gonna have that. Goose, someone asked what you thought about the proposal dresses. Did you get to see Serene's white dress?
I saw her. No, I wasn't paying attention.
She wasn't paying attention.
I just saw her white outfit on the show.
Yeah, Tasha.
It was the cutouts, which was very flattering on her.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised they had any white dresses left after Tasha bought them all. She literally bought every white dress that has ever been made. All right, folks. Well, look, that's going to do it for me. If you could, I'm asking you this, not to be a Debbie Downer, but we are getting a healthy dose of negative reviews on the podcast from people that don't want me talking and being authentic to who I am. So if you want to combat that, go search Bachelor Rush Hour wherever you listen to podcasts and leave us a good review. It helps with the ratings. We'll be here all week. That's right, JC Miles. The hot tub is calling me. So I'm going to do a cold exit, which means no music, no nothing. I'm just going to get out of here. Thanks again so much for another amazing season. And as far as Thanksgiving goes, you all know where my heart is. I'm here for you. You guys are here for me. And we are thankful for this community. Hey, we rhymed. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye, everybody.